If you're making a 2D game in Unity, you need a proper interaction system, and most tutorials hardcode everything, but in this video I'll show you a clean system you can reuse for any 2D game. So right here I have a very basic scene. It's basically just a simple top-down game, but you could of course do this with any kind of game, also a 2D platformer or whatever. But you can walk around here, and over here I have a door, and I want to be able to press E on it so that it opens. So let's create it. So I'll right click here in Assets and create a new MonoBehavior script, which I'll call Interactor. Now open that up. In here we'll delete the start function, and then if you're using the new input system, I don't know if you are, but if you are, then use Unity Engine.input system. I'll use it, but you don't have to. Then also here at the top I'll create a public interface, which is what is gonna make this interaction system what it is. I'll call it iInteractable, and in here I'll create a void interact. I'll have a void on touching player and a void on not touching player, like this. Then down here in our interactor class, I'll do private iInteractable, call it current interactable, and then in our update function we'll check if, and first our input, which will be E. In this case I want to interact with the E key, so I'm using the new input system, so I'll do keyboard.current.e-key.isActuated, and I will also check if current interactable is not equal null, and remember to add the brackets right there. Then in here I'll do current interactable.interact, then we'll have a void on trigger enter 2D, where we will do iInteractable interactable equals collision.getComponent interactable, and if this one is not null, so if interactable is not equal null, well that means we have hit an object with an interactable interface, and we can now do current interactable equals interactable and current interactable dot on touching player. Now let's down here do an on trigger exit 2D, where we'll almost do the same thing, so I'll copy all of this. But here I'll instead set this one to on not touching player, and I'll switch these around like this and set this one to null after. I will also in here do interactable not equal null and interactable equals current interactable, like this. That's everything for the interactor class. And what is so smart about this system is that we can now head back into Unity and click on our door over here. I have a simple door script called top-down door, and if we look inside of that, well, all it has is an open door where it then destroys the game object. But what we can do is do a comma right here and then write iInteractable, and this gives us an error, so click right here and click on implement interface, and it creates these three. We can just delete the throw right here on all of them. And then on our interact right here, we can just call our open door, which destroys the game object. So we can just do open door right there. And for these two, we could, for example, do something like changing the color or displaying an E or something like that. I'll show you how to do that in just a second. But for now, if we head back into Unity, and make sure you have a box collider and a rigid body on this, and set the rigid body to kinematic if you don't want it to act with other physics stuff. Then just head on to the player and add the interactor script. Then the last thing we need to do is go onto the door and add another box collider, which will be an isTrigger. And you can make this as large as you want. I just set the size to a 1.25 and 1.25 like this, or maybe only 1.1 at this size. But this is the interaction zone, so if I now click play and I walk over here and hit E, it disappears. Let me now show you how to make it display that we are trying to interact. Let's just go in here inside of the top-down door, and what we could for example do in here is have a private sprite renderer called SR, and in an awake function we could set SR to get component sprite renderer, and down here in our two functions we could do something like sr.color equals color.blue, for example, and let's say the original color was white, so we can do sr.color equals color.white. Private color original color, which I set in the start function to sr.color, and then we can do original color instead of white right here. And now when we walk to it, it turns blue and brown again when we walk away. Perfect. But yeah, I hope you found this useful. Make sure to like this video if you thought it was helpful. If it wasn't helpful, please dislike it. Also, at the top link in the description, you can go into my Skool community where I have a full system on how to go from a complete beginner all the way to publishing your first playable game. So check that out and have an amazing day.